open up the media encoder already so that it's already open and loaded when I'm ready to export my animation. And so while that is there, okay, I have my old animation here. I'm just going to delete this. And now I'm going to open up After Effects. And I'm going to see if I can recreate that effect. I get a lot of these on TikTok. It's probably because, you know, I will watch them all the way through. But I get a lot of like random like Photoshop and After Effects and stuff. And there's some really cool ideas that you'll see on there. So I'm going to go to New Project. What did he do? New Composition. He made his square. So he did 1920 by 1920. I guess I'll just do the same thing. So I'll do 1920. So I have to unlock the aspect ratio. Normally I just go with the default 1920 by 1080, but he did it square, so I'm going to go with that and click OK. And let's see. Let's do a black background on the composition. So all he did was add in a circle. So I'm going to get the circle tool or the ellipse tool. I'm going to hold shift so it stays even width and height. And then I'm going to get the selection tool and just move it into the center and make it white. And then he moved up here and I'm going to hit P to get the position and keyframe the position, then go back to 0, and this goes this way, and I'm holding shift so it only is moving on the X. So it moves in. Okay, it's probably too far, so let's move this back a little bit. As long as it's fully off, and then it's taking too long, so let's move this up. Okay, that's probably good enough. Let's make this shorter. Okay, that looks good. So then he duplicated this layer. So I'm going to take this and hit Command D. Okay, so I hit Command D twice and I have 3 of them. And I'm going to select all 3. So I'm going to select the first layer, second layer, third layer, holding shift. And then he went to Effects and did a what did he do? No, he did a color correction channel mixer. So let's put that. Oh, it won't let me. How did he do it? Okay, if I grab all these and then put a channel mixer. No, that doesn't let me do that. Maybe he went to color correction channel mixer. Okay, there we go. So then if I select this, now I don't see the effects, so let's go to Window. Where's my effects? Okay, Effect Controls. Okay, so I guess he skipped that part of the video. Okay, so Effect Controls, so let's move in here a little bit. So one thing that we didn't really talk about, we looked at this in Photoshop a little bit, but After Effects also has blend modes. And let's see, where are the blend modes? Oops. I don't know if we see them on here. Maybe it's this. Columns. Modes, there we go. Okay, so that's not there by default. So you have to right click on this area and we need the blend modes. And so then he changed all the blend modes to add, so they'll blend together. And then take the first one and turn the green all the way down to 0, blue all the way down to 0. Second one, red to 0, and blue to 0. So there's just one color on each of them. And then the third one, red is 0, green is 0. and then he just moved them over a little bit. Okay, so that looks kind of cool. And let's actually make them line up in the same place. So I'm going to change it a little bit. So I'm going to open up the position for these guys and go back here. I'm just going to move one of them back a little bit, and then let's lock that one. I'll lock this one, and then move this one back here. Okay, so that looks a little better. And then he put another effect on them. Oh, whoops, I didn't save this yet. Make sure to save before you do a bunch of stuff. Okay, so this is my TikTok example. He put another effect on them that I can't remember.
Super quick, easy. Then it'll kind of be separated colors. It's that easy. Deep glow in there?
Deep glow. Okay, so let's go back and find deep glow. Oh, there's no deep glow. So let's just try glow. Oh, I locked these. Glow, glow, glow. Oh, I have to set the glow factor. Let's put it at 2. See if that looks okay. And I could also animate that, but okay, we need more. Let's see. I'm not really seeing glow threshold. Glow radius. Oh, that's a little bit better. Okay, let's turn the glow radius way up. Glow radius. There we go. And then glow intensity. Okay. So that looks pretty cool. It's kind of like what he was doing. It's not 100% perfect, but it's good enough. So I'm going to shorten my composition. So I'm going to go to composition settings and just cut it off where it is now, which is at it's like 2.5. So, or it's like 2 and 15 frames. So duration, I'll do 2 seconds and 15 frames. And one last thing, I'm going to use the graph editor to make it a little bit more bouncy. So I'm going to open up the graph editor and go to my position, and let's turn on the curve. And let's see, can I get the keyframes? So let's take the keyframes, keyframe interpolation, Bezier. No, how do I get, keep forgetting how to, oh, there we go. Okay, I have to turn in separate dimensions, then get this, then click on this. Okay, so I'm going to drag this guy. Let's make it bounce in a little bit, and let's drag this guy out a little bit like that. Okay, that's a little bit too much. Okay, so that's kind of cool. I'm going to stop there and go over exporting. So, okay, so I've got my cool effect, and I'm ready to export. So I want to use the media encoder. So I need to first select my composition, then go to composition and add to Adobe Media Encoder queue. So there is a render queue in After Effects, and that's where you used to do everything, but there's more options in the Adobe Encoder queue. So we're going to use that. So when I click on that, it should go over there. So it didn't do anything, but if I go, oh, there it goes. So it took a second, but it opened up the Adobe Encoder queue, which is what I want. And so I'm going to make a couple different versions. I want one version that's high res. So I'm gonna, maybe I can duplicate this and do them all at the same time. Yeah, so I can make multiple versions. So the first one, I want something high res, so I'm gonna go with QuickTime. And I'm just gonna use the default that it goes to here. And then I want something for the internet, so I'm gonna use H.264, and I'm gonna choose something a little bit smaller. So Twitter 720 is gonna be pretty small. I could try some other stuff, but I think that'll be good. And let's see if do I have any other options? Animated GIF. Let's make an animated GIF from Media Encoder as well and see what that looks like. So I'm going to hit play. This is going to take a second, but while this is rendering, we can start our OpenLab post. So we want to post this stuff on the OpenLab. So I'm going to go to the OpenLab page for the class, MMP 100, and I'm logged in, so I can click New Post. And so this is my animated emotions and words assignment, although you can use whatever title you want to use here. And let's make a category. So I'm going to make a new category, animated. Let's just call it animation. Add new category. And then I want to use the template for my post. So I'm going to go back to animation on the OpenLab in the topics animation. And down here somewhere there's a template that I can use. And so I'm just going to copy this. I won't copy the description. So I'm just going to copy this and paste it in here. So the title is well, the one I just made, I guess I could post the other one. The other one I made is pretty dumb looking, actually, so maybe I don't want to post that one. Well, it's okay. I'll just post this, whatever. But we can look at our, so the animation that I made previously is happy. It's a smiley face. Semester year is spring 2022. And the software is Adobe After Effects. And so then for description, 2 or 3 sentences explaining what emotion you used and how you wanted to illustrate it. So I used the emotion happy, and I illustrated it with a brightly colored background and font choice and animated effects. Okay, say whatever you want to about your animation. So then for the OpenLab post, make sure to use the MP4 because your MOV file is going to be probably too big. See, this MOV file is like 160 megabytes. The MP4 file is going to be a better size for the internet, 12.9 megabytes. The Twitter one is more for like social media stuff. So for the OpenLab, you can use the MP4, the higher res MP4. So I'm going to drag this on here. Oh no, it's not going to let me drag it. I have to, okay, I'm going to make a new block. So I'm going to click on the first block, and how do I make a new block? I have to say insert before, add a video block, and then I can either drag this from the Finder, or I can click Upload, go to Desktop, MMP 100, Animation. Here's my main.mp4. And if you want to post, if you're making like an animated GIF or doing something else, feel free to post other stuff on here as well. I'll post my other example here, below here. I also made these animated GIFs. I'll post the 2 GIFs I made. So let's go back to the Media Encoder and see if it's done. Oh, that's After Effects. Let's go to the Media Encoder. Okay, so they're all done. So they should be in this folder, a TikTok example _ AME, Adobe Media Encoder. So here's my animated GIF. It's 7.4 megabytes, which is really way too big. So if we wanted to get that smaller, there weren't a lot of options in the media encoder. I could make the composition smaller because it's pretty large. That would probably save some space. Or if I wanted to do more compression on it, I could open it in Photoshop. And then the MP4 is really small. It's 400 kilobytes. So the MP4 is very small. And the quality is okay. It's not perfect, but it's not bad. The MOV file is 9.7 megabytes, which is actually pretty good, but it's very short. So let's put in the MP4 for this one. So I need a video block, and I can just drag this. So I'm going to make this window a little bit smaller, drag this on here. And then for my animated GIF from the Photoshop thing, I should probably just be able to drag it directly in. Yeah, it'll let me put it there. Okay, so now I've got all this stuff on here. I'm going to preview this. So you don't have to have different things. I'm just doing different examples. You only need to have one animation, but it could be any one of these formats. As long as you just need like 10 seconds worth of stuff. So let's see, this plays, that's fine. That looks fine. Okay, so I'm happy with this. I'm going to publish this. And then once you publish it, just remember you're going to get a link here once it's done publishing. And you can view the post and you can copy the link. And this is the link that you're going to post on Blackboard. So just take this link and copy it. You can hit Command-C or Control-C, and then go post that on Blackboard in the animation assignment. Okay.